With the rise of industry, many changes in the workforce occurred. Along with an increase in immigration, there came an increase in family debts. Some of the debts were so great that the entire family had to work to pay it off, not just the adults, but the children also had to work alongside them. Child labor had an increase in popularity with the employers because the children would work just as hard as the adults, but for lower pay. Reformers tried multiple times to get a new child labor law passed, but luck was not with them. Businesses always found a way around the laws, and it was up to the reformers to show the public what was really happening inside the workplaces. And there was one photographer who was ready to expose the truth to the public.
Lewis Hine was born on September 26, 1874 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Later in his life, while studying at the University of Chicago, he met Frank E. Manny, the superintendent at the Ethical Culture School in New York. After completing his studies in the University of Chicago, Hine moved to New York and became a teacher at the Ethical Culture School. The school was founded by Felix Adler, a social reformer who started the ethical culture movement. The school he taught at, originally called Working Man's School, was a school for poor children and served as a free kindergarten. There as a teacher, he developed a soft spot for these children, which led him to become a child labor photographer. In 1904, Hine and a friend, Manny, created the nation's first photography program at the Ethical Culture School. Accompanied by his camera, Hine took students to photograph landscapes. He also took them out to New York streets to photograph its high-class citizens. Hine also began photographing immigrants on Ellis Island.
Road to photograph children in dangerous or undesirable working conditions. These jobs include mining, factory work, and many others. Hine had a unique style of photographing these children because the owner of the businesses didn't want the public to know about child labor. Many times he would disguise himself in order to photograph the children. These employers highly disliked the child labor photographers, and many of those were jailed and harassed. If Lewis could not enter the working places, he would just wait outside at the main gates and wait for children to photograph as they came out.
The children Hine photographed worked mainly along the East Coast, with the ranges aging from 5 years old to adulthood. They worked in mines, factories, mills, just about anywhere for any job. In mills, they had to stand on the spools, and in mines, they had to squeeze through the smallest cracks. Being children, they tended to nod off during the afternoon. This was met with a serious, sometimes fatal accident, or resulted in a beating by the overseer. In order to escape weak and unconstitutional child labor laws, the employers responded that the children working there were of age. One of the children Lewis Hine photographed and documented was Eddie Laird.
In Pownall, Vermont lies an old abandoned textile mill. It was there that a 12-year-old child named Addie Laird was photographed by Lewis Hine. He referred to her as the anemic little spinner. Addie became one of Lewis Hine's most renowned subjects. He took photos of her frail body propped against a spinning machine, her eyes full of fatigue, as if pleading for someone to do something about her condition. Addie's iconic photo made its appearance on the U.S. postage stamp in 1998. She was a powerful figure in the campaign to stop child labor.
Lewis Hine's work proved to have an excellent impression in the National Child Labor Committee. The reformers wanted the photographs to be presented to the public. Hine's photos were printed in the newspaper so everyone would be able to see them. Shocked faces spread around the nation as everyone recognized the reality and cruelty of child labor.
Lewis Hine's work on the issue of child labor resulted in the realization that making children work was wrong, but he wasn't alone. There were many other child labor activists who were working to ban child labor. Due to their work, child labor was eventually banned in 1938 by the Fair Labor Standards Act. This act officially banned child labor by putting an age limit on when children can work. This gave children time to enjoy their childhood and get a good education. With all the work of the great people in our country, children finally received their rights to be children.